This tablet was supposed to be perfect for artists, but XPPen made a few mistakes with it. When I first unboxed the XPPen Magic Drawing Pad, I was super excited. A portable, all-in-one drawing tablet that's cheaper than an iPad? Sounds like a dream, right? But then I started drawing, and within minutes, all the excitement disappeared. Because there was one missing feature that totally changed how I saw this tablet. So the Magic Drawing Pad offers quite a smooth drawing experience, and overall I think it delivers well for casual and beginner artists. The matte texture screen feels great, providing a natural pen-on-paper sensation that I really love. I've always hated the glassy feeling of the iPad screen in comparison, so much that I immediately bought a screen protector for it that had a bit of texture so that I could draw on it more comfortably. So in that sense, the Magic Drawing Pad, or let's just call it MDP for shorter from now on, wins over the iPad or other standalone tablets of this kind, because you get a device that already feels natural to draw on with that texture. And the pressure sensitivity is solid and responsive. I was actually impressed about that, since in the past, XPPen used to have an initial activation force on their pens that was too high for my taste. I guess this time they paired it very well with the 16K levels of pressure sensitivity, so much that you barely have to press for the pen to register your strokes or clicks around menus. However, one of the biggest surprises for me about this pen was the lack of tilt recognition. If you mainly use brushes that rely on tilt for shading or line variation, like myself, you'll find the MDP to be very frustrating. XPPen has had tilt support on previous pen displays, so its absence here feels like a step backward in my opinion, especially for a tablet they have specifically marketed toward digital artists. I reached out to XPPen about this just to make sure the pen wasn't defective, or that maybe I could buy a different pen that offered tilt recognition, you know? Like a pro version of it, but they confirmed that it's a limitation of the tablet software rather than the pen itself. So no matter what pen you use, the tablet will never recognize whether you tilt the pen or draw completely vertical with it. You cannot see my face right now, but it's not a happy face. It's more like this. So they're fully aware that this is something artists need, because they have included it on previous products, but they did not add it to this one. I'm not a software engineer, so maybe it really isn't something that can just be patched in like that. But if that's the case, why release a product for artists that lacks such a fundamental feature for that target audience? I get they're trying to keep it affordable for beginners especially, but I still think it wasn't the wisest decision to make here, especially if they want the MDP to compete in a market that's already dominated by other well-known Android tablets and iPads. Now, XPPen recently released a similar product in name, which is the Magic Note Pad. This one does have tilt recognition, and from what I've read, you can sorta draw on it, but it's not meant to be used for drawing. The Magic Note Pad, as its name suggests, is marketed for note-taking and document use. Another strange decision, in my opinion, because I don't think tilt recognition is that important for casual note-taking use. Anyway, let's move on and talk about the pen accuracy. Right out of the box, there was a very noticeable gap between where my pen touched the screen and where the strokes appeared. This is called parallax, and while some degree of it can be normal, on this tablet it was way too obvious. Drawing with parallax isn't something pleasing at all. It makes it really hard to connect lines because you have to be looking at the cursor on the screen rather than the tip of the pen. It doesn't make for a natural drawing experience. Luckily, after a very stressful first test, I found out you can minimize the parallax by adjusting the settings in the drawing app. I checked it on Clip Studio Paint, Medibang, and Ibis Paint, and the option was there for all of them. I can speak for other apps though, but I guess if all of these I've tried have this option, it might be a common feature for others as well. And in case your drawing app didn't have this option, you can also fix this in the settings of the MDP under Advanced Features, Handwriting Offset. I wouldn't call this a total deal breaker because it can be solved rather easily in the end, if you know where to look for, obviously. But once again, it's surprising to see these coming from a company that has been producing pen displays for years, where the parallax wasn't as bad as it was here. It's just strange that they overlook this issue too. And personally, I think no artist should have to go through this troubleshooting process when they get a new drawing device. And I'm particularly worried that beginners might not know they can adjust the parallax and will try to get used to drawing with it. You should never have to get used to something like that. If your tablet has evident parallax, you should try to find a more accurate device. The pen also has a little bit of lag, by the way. For me, it's not obvious to the point it ruins the whole drawing experience, but you might be able to notice it in these clips I'm showing you. Maybe if you're super picky about this, it will be too much of a delay for you. And since we're talking about lag, 3D models do lag on Clip Studio Paint, and so do brushes with certain textures or big sizes. So I'm guessing this tablet's processor is decent for drawing, but it's not as amazing as what you can find on an iPad, for example. If you make animations, 3D sculpting, video editing, or you want to use this tablet for gaming too, it might struggle with such tasks. Although, in that sense, I can't blame XPPen, because this tablet is targeted for people who draw, not any other activities. So it makes sense that it's not optimized for anything that's not making illustrations. Now for the stuff that doesn't suck, the size is very nice. It's big enough to draw comfortably, yet small enough to easily slip it into your bag and carry it with you to a coffee shop, the park, or the sofa. Although you need to buy their transport bag too, because the protective case it comes with does not protect the screen at all. Another odd decision in my opinion. It's targeted towards artists, but by default it doesn't come with a way to protect that precious screen from scratches. But hey, at least the case has a space to store the pen. And let me tell you, that does not fall off easily. I have to pull pretty hard to get it out of there. Instead of the transport bag, you could get it with the keyboard they offer you at XPPen for a few more bucks, which, when folded, does offer some protection to the screen. And that way, you get a drawing tablet that can be used like a laptop too. A great combination if you also need to write a lot. I know I'm having a lot of fun writing down ideas at night and planning my daily schedule with this device in that sense. The screen colors also feel nice. It even has an option to decrease the blue light so your eyes won't get as tired when you draw. And the battery life is pretty good. Drawing with Clip Studio Paint for about 2 to 3 hours only drained the battery to 70% or so at full brightness. So I think this can easily last you a couple of long drawing sessions without the need to recharge it. The pen is also battery free, so you'll never have to stop because the pen dies on you, as it can happen with an iPad, for example. So who is this tablet for? The Magic Drawing Pad is priced competitively compared to other Android-based drawing tablets or the well-known iPads. It's selling for around $500 depending on the country and store you get it from. It's not super expensive, but it's still a good sum of money for many of us. Here's my take. If you're a complete beginner and just want an affordable drawing tablet to see if digital art is for you, it could be a good starting point once you fix the parallax issue. If you know for 100% sure that you will never ever need tilt recognition, it could work as well. But if you're an artist who relies on tilt and pen accuracy for your works, I'll be honest, I think there are better options in the same price range. For example, a second-hand iPad Pro or iPad Air, or even a Samsung Galaxy S Tab with similar specifications can often be found for about the same price. Sure, you need to buy the Apple Pencil separately or a screen protector, but you'll get better pen accuracy and tilt support, which in my opinion is a must if you want to draw comfortably or turn art into your career. So while the Magic Drawing Pad isn't terrible and has great potential, I just can't wholeheartedly recommend it over other options. The lack of tilt and parallax issues make it hard to justify when you can get better alternatives for similar prices. But if for whatever reason you don't like Apple or Samsung products, or you're already set on getting this tablet specifically because you fancy XPPen as a brand, then be my guest. You know what you do with your money. Just be aware of the limitations and issues you will have to face with it. What do you think? Does tilt facial recognition matter to you, or would you be okay without it? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're looking for other digital art setups, I've got more tablet reviews right here on the channel. So make sure to like, subscribe, and check out my other videos too. Thanks for watching. Keep on drawing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!